Did you have more elsewhere? Like, what made you choose the Giants, I guess?
I mean, we had multiple teams that were interested. This is really a pretty weird free agency year. Teams really weren't just throwing around money, kind of like in other years. But we had a few teams that were interested that probably could have went with, but ultimately the Giants, when they got DJ back, obviously his quarterback's a pretty big piece of being a receiver. But just the familiarity here, what Dave's and Calf and Joe are building here and some of the guys that they acquired, I just felt like this would be the best place for me to go. And obviously I'm comfortable here. I enjoy being here. I enjoy the people here. So, it was easy to come back.
Obviously, we all know what happened last year with you in training camp and whatnot, and really no need to rehash it. But I think there's a lot of people who would have held a grudge. Like, you guys made me take a pay cut. I'm going to get my money next time from literally anywhere else. Why did you not have that bad blood? What does that say about you and the team and kind of where the relationship is now versus where it was in August?
I just think in general in life, I try not to bring emotion into things that aren't emotional. And football's not emotional. Either you go out there and you make plays, and the people that make the decisions, play the people who make plays, or you don't. So, at the end of the day, when it comes to football or anything like that, I tend to point the thumb and not the finger, and look at what I can do better. What have I done to put myself in whatever situation? And, sometimes in life you do, everything you're supposed to do and you end up, getting screwed over. But, I'll be lying if I said I didn't somewhat contribute to my situation last year. And, at the end of the day, I have to take responsibility for that and do better.
And then obviously Dan just asked you about Atlanta. That's kind of where I thought you were going to end up because guys like to go home. How tempting was that being a Georgia guy to go there? And kind of was that ultimately those two offers what you were weighing against each other?
Atlanta, like you just said, is where I'm from. It's where my parents live. It's where close to where a lot of my family lives. One of my best friends was a free agent. He just got signed by Atlanta. So, I had a lot of, I guess you could say, reason to want to be there or to want to go there. But first of all, free agency, it's got to be mutual, which, I think they had interest in me, which they expressed. But ultimately, I think that the best football decision for me was being back here with Daniel and continuing to grow with him and Kafka's offense.